The sky cracked with a quiet hum just before the envelope appeared. It did not come by mailman, nor did it rest gently in your mailbox. It was found instead on your doorstep, as if set there by invisible hands in the still of night. Pale parchment sealed with wax, bearing a broken crown etched in gold. The air around it pulsed, faint and warm, like something sacred had just exhaled. The seal vibrated when you touched it, whispering truths too old for words. The paper wasn't paper, it felt like cured skin, humming with the memory of someone's sacrifice. The moment your fingers brushed it, the atmosphere changed. A storm in the spirit began to build, even though the trees outside remained still. You hadn't seen that symbol since you were 7, the night your mother burned a box of letters in the fireplace while crying into a handkerchief marked with the same crown. Archangel Michael says the letter was not merely delivered, it was summoned by your awakening spirit, now demanding truth after years of spiritual silence. The heavens had grown tired of your slumber. God says you are no longer allowed to live in the illusion that you are small. That letter is a signal. Your inheritance is active, and with it comes ancient danger. Someone has hidden what belongs to you, and the sky will not rest until it is returned. You open the letter and feel the vibration climb your wrist into your chest. Inside, a single line is written in crimson ink: return to the house of first blood before the eclipse, or it all turns to ash. The house, the one they sold after your grandmother vanished. Your breath catches in your throat. The ink smells like rosemary and copper. Something in you begins to scream. Your soul remembers what your mind has tried to forget. The moon trembled behind torn clouds that night, and your dreams overflowed with rusted keys and broken mirrors. Whispers curled under your pillow, muttering the names of ancestors you'd never spoken aloud. You woke gasping, heart pounding as if it had just outrun the hands of death. Archangel Michael says the inheritance is spiritual, yes, but it's also physical, and it's been forged in betrayal. You were born with rights sealed away by the frightened hands of those who envied your light. Now the seal has broken and the war has begun. The envelope has no return address, but you already know where it came from. Not a place, but a presence. The one who was banished, the one whose blood runs in your veins. The sender was the sister your family swore had never existed. You hear her name whispered through walls and window panes, a name your mother once shouted in her sleep, a name buried under silence. That name is now yours to carry. God says you were never meant to inherit scraps. You are heir to sacred territory, and yet that territory is under siege by spirits who walk in shadows, pretending to be protectors. The skies now burn with anticipation. Your house's foundation pulses with memories, sealed under its wood and stone. If you listen closely, you can hear footsteps pacing in the old dining room, as if waiting for you to arrive. This is not a storybook inheritance, this is a reckoning. Land, secrets, titles, and power are being fought over in both visible and invisible realms. And your presence is the trigger. Tonight, When the wind brushes your neck and the lights flicker, know this: the veil has opened. The inheritance has been activated, and the ones who tried to bury it will soon tremble at your return. The letter glows faintly under moonlight, like it breathes with something ancient and unfinished. You hold it tight as the ground beneath your soul shifts. The name etched beneath the crimson line reveals itself only under darkness, each letter appearing one by one, as if written by an unseen hand trembling with guilt. You stare at the name, and your stomach coils in betrayal. It's someone you trusted, someone who sat at your table, held your hand, and whispered false comfort into your storms. The name belongs to your godparent, the one who helped raise you when your parents were too busy with grief, the one who told you never to visit the ancestral home, the one who always looked away when you asked about your bloodline. They were the gatekeeper who locked every door behind your back. Archangel Michael says a deceiver wore the skin of a guardian. They hid your inheritance not to protect you, but to benefit themselves. They fed off your gifts in silence while convincing you had none. The air around you thickens like smoke before a fire. You remember every red flag they wrapped in kindness, every truth they twisted to look like love. They were the one who intercepted letters, who burned court documents, who whispered lies about your family's curse. Now the mask is falling. God says betrayal from blood is the oldest weapon darkness uses, and you, beloved, have been bleeding longer than you know. But what bleeds in truth becomes a flood of divine justice in time. You tremble, not in fear, but in power awakening. A part of your soul is returning to itself, rising like a lost crown retrieved from an ashed, covered battlefield. The blood inside you knows the throne was never theirs. You dream again, but this time you're standing in the hallway of the ancestral house. The wallpaper peels in patterns of weeping eyes. A mirror cracks as you pass it, and at the end of the corridor, the family portrait that used to hang over the mantel is on fire. Yet the faces don't melt. They stare directly at you, as if waiting for you to remember. The one who betrayed you is already aware of your awakening. You'll notice their energy shift soon. Calls will become infrequent. Smiles will become strained. They will attempt to sow doubt in your spirit just one more time. Archangel Michael says this is the unraveling hour. Their lies are burning under divine flame. What they bound in secret, heaven now exposes in light. You remember an old chest in the attic, the one you were told never to open. You see it now in vision, covered in velvet, locked with a silver serpent-shaped latch. You will find it again. Inside is the second letter, the one your true ancestor wrote before vanishing. The letter that will answer why your name was erased from the bloodline registry. God says the time of divine silence is over. Heaven will no longer tolerate you living beneath your station. You are royal blood cloaked in false servitude. Outside, the wind stirs like a chorus of whispers rising to scream. You hear creaking in the floorboards of the spirit realm, signs that ancient truths are shifting into position. This inheritance is not about land or money alone. It's about restoring divine justice to a fractured lineage. Your family line was once tasked with guarding a spiritual gateway, a gate now corrupted by power, hungry traitors. You, chosen by timing and design, are the gatekeeper reborn. You've been tested in silence, forged in abandonment, hardened by every lie you swallowed to keep peace. Now peace is no longer the command. War in spirit is. Archangel Michael says, prepare yourself. Not all will rejoice at your rising. Some will spit honeyed venom to keep you docile. But your angels have already drawn their swords. You'll feel the resistance tighten in the days ahead. Friends may distance. Voices may grow louder in protest. But this is only confirmation that the lie is dissolving, and your light terrifies what has fed off your dimming. A knock will come. A person you never expected will bring a key. Accept it. The door it opens will not be made of wood, but memory. And memory, when ignited by the divine, becomes a weapon of revelation. The betrayer is crumbling. Their power was always borrowed. Now it's evaporating. The inheritance must return to its rightful vessel. You are that vessel. Their final attempt will come cloaked in apology. Don't drink it. It's poisoned with guilt and baited with shame. Look them in the eye and remember who you are now. The next time you look at the mirror, you won't see just your reflection. You'll see the eyes of the ancestors behind you, watching, waiting, and ready to flood you with the strength you've forgotten. The wind doesn't just howl tonight, it howls your name. It wraps around your home like a warning cloaked in urgency. The spiritual realm is no longer waiting for your permission. It's opening without your consent. You feel it, not just in your body, but beneath your skin, like your bones are being pulled toward a place you've never been, but always known. The ancestral gate is stirring. Archangel Michael says the fire has already been lit, not a fire of destruction, but a fire of reckoning. Everything that has been hidden from you will now come into view, no matter how painful. God says the false peace you lived in is now scorched. The time of tolerating half-truths has ended. This fire has been promised through generations. It was set to burn precisely when your spirit was strong enough to stand inside it. You dream again, and this time the sky is split. Clouds ripple like torn fabric. A gate of obsidian and pearl stands, suspended over a field of thorns. You step forward, and the thorns part, revealing a path lined with faces you do not recognize, but who all seem to know you. Your blood remembers them. Each face is a story untold. Their eyes carry both sorrow and relief, as if they've waited for centuries to see you walk this path. You're at the threshold now. You can feel it in the air, charged, shimmering, thick with holy anticipation. You are the one who must reopen the seal, but doing so means confronting the one who cursed it shut. Archangel Michael says your ancestors' rival walks still, hidden in the shadows of your family's history, feeding on dishonor and stolen birthrights. They made pacts not with spirit, but with shadow. They traded protection for control. The gate bears the burn marks of those rituals. Its hinges drip with the ash of betrayal. You smell sulfur and lavender, the clashing of realms in their rawest forms. You are no longer a child in this. You are the one carrying the divine mandate. Your footsteps crack open spiritual ground. Every lie ever told to keep you small now dissolves into nothing. God says you were always meant to reign. The fire isn't burning you, it's revealing you. And what is revealed in flame cannot be hidden again. You stand now before the physical place, the house, the one you swore you'd never return to. Its door swings open before you touch it, as if the home itself remembers its true owner. Inside, the wallpaper peels like skin. The air is heavy with unshed tears. The portrait still burns in your dream, but now it hangs whole on the wall, untouched by time, but warped by secrecy. You ascend the staircase, drawn to the attic like gravity has reversed. You find the chest. It pulses. You do not open it with your hands. You speak the name you once feared, the forbidden name, and the lock breaks like glass. Inside a second letter, a photograph, and a single medallion carved with symbols you've seen only in dreams. The letter is not addressed to your name, but to your spirit title, the one heaven knows you by. Archangel Michael says this medallion is a key, not just to the gate, but to your authority. Wear it, and you'll remember the language of your ancestors. Wear it, and the gate will know to yield. Outside, thunder doesn't roll. It claps, as if applauding your awakening. Lightning forks across the sky like a divine sword. You feel the air crackling. Something is about to cross over. The fire begins, not in the world around you, but in your chest, a blaze of clarity, sorrow, rage, and triumph. It pours through your veins like prophecy. You were never meant to be the quiet one, never meant to be the forgotten heir. You are the fire. You are the one who can open the gate and survive its judgment. God says your inheritance is not just justice, it is restoration. Not just wealth, but position. Not just a home, but a throne in the spirit realm they tried to bury. The betrayer senses you now. Their rituals are failing. Their grasp on the old power is slipping like sand through fractured fingers. They may try to confront you soon, dressed in concern. But remember, concern is the mask of control. Archangel Michael says, your only weapon is truth. Speak it, and the shadows break apart. Remain silent, and they will rebuild. You begin to speak, not with your mouth, but from your spirit. Language that hasn't been uttered in generations flows from you like water. The gate responds. It opens, not with a creak but a roar. You see it now. Behind the gate, your destiny, your restored name, the scroll bearing your ancestral charge, the angel standing guard, the throne stripped of gold but waiting for its ruler. You take one step forward, and the fire does not burn you. It bows. You step into the threshold, and time bends inward. The moment stretches like silk caught on flame, fragile but radiant. This is no longer a vision. This is a reckoning unfolding in real time. The throne room behind the gate shimmers with an ancient gold not found on earth. Pillars carved with family names rise like giants from sacred ground. Some names glow, some flicker, Some are scorched black beyond recognition. God says you have entered the chamber of ancestral truth. Here, all things hidden are revealed without filter. Here, your blood will testify. The scroll bearing your spirit title floats toward you. It hums in a forgotten language only your bones can understand. As it unrolls, the ink spills like liquid fire across the air, spelling out the mandate they tried to erase. You were not just meant to inherit, you were born to restore the line. A great book appears, bound in serpent skin and sealed with wax. You've seen this in dream storms, always guarded, always locked. But now, the wax melts as you approach, and the pages fall open like wings. Archangel Michael says this book holds every decision made in your bloodline. Not just deeds, but intentions. Not just memories, but spiritual contracts. Some were made in the light, others beneath eclipses. Your godparent's name appears, not once, but many times, each time marked with distortion, betrayal, rerouting divine favor to themselves. You watch as entire branches of the family tree curl in grief from their actions. The book convulses, then reveals a name you never knew, your true ancestor, the one who disappeared, the one who sealed the inheritance with their final breath. They gave up everything to preserve your arrival. Suddenly, the air thickens. The chamber grows dim. A second presence enters, not divine but ancestral, not demonic but corrupted. It's the spirit of the betrayer, standing in the shape of your godparent, twisted and shrouded in shadow. They speak without lips. Their energy presses against your chest, thick with lies wrapped in sorrow. They try to tell you they did it to protect you, that your power would have consumed you, that the curse was too dangerous to release. But you do not bend. You raise the medallion, and your voice becomes thunder. The bloodline is mine by right and by divine decree. The chamber responds, quaking. The names on the walls begin to burn brighter, purging generations of distortion. Archangel Michael says, "This is the judgment hour." Your spirit rises from your body, glowing with light unseen in the mortal world. You are both within yourself and above yourself. The betrayer tries one last time to reach for the scroll, but the light sears their hand. God says enough has been stolen. Enough has been silenced. The throne must now return to the hands it was forged for. The spirit of the betrayer is dragged back, not by demons, but by the hands of those they wronged, ancestors they cursed, siblings they banished. Their screams dissolve into silence, and the gate slams shut behind them. Peace returns, but not a passive peace. A righteous stillness, like a battlefield cleared and reclaimed. The throne pulses with gold now. It has accepted you. It knows your spirit. You sit, and the chamber bends around you, acknowledging the return of the rightful heir. You see visions now of what is to come. Documents once hidden will surface. A family deed, thought lost, will arrive in your hands. Hidden accounts, protected in offshore locations, will be traced back to your name. Allies you've never met will suddenly reach out, drawn by spiritual alignment. But more importantly, the line is clean again. Archangel Michael says the gate is sealed from corruption. and you are the keeper of its key. It will never again be defiled under your watch. You return from the throne room changed. Your eyes see clearer. Your voice carries more weight. The world itself seems to bend slightly when you walk, as if recognizing its true sovereign. God says your journey is not over, but your silence is. Peek, move, reclaim. Every place your name was stripped. It shall be restored with divine fire. The betrayer's physical form may still walk the earth, but they are powerless now. Their authority is gone. Their shadows dissolve in your presence. From this moment forward, you wear the crown of ancestral justice, not on your head, but in your spirit, invisible to most, but undeniable to those in alignment. Let those with eyes to see bow when you pass. Let those with ears to hear remember your name. You are the one they tried to erase. You are the one who returned, and heaven rejoices.